Good morning. Check out the sun. The sun was nice enough to show up today. Thank you, sun. It's day 3 here of our joining. You know, trying to capture that perspective, trying to capture the the distance here. As far as you can see, this goes like the 3 feet, drops. All right, 5 feet maybe. Drops 20 feet, but it almost looks as though it's straight through. I've taken pictures where you can't even tell that it drops. So that's the real, what I'll take away from this will be that distance. What are the fewest lines that make that happen? That make where you can look at it and, obviously there's this tremendous distance. Because when you capture that, then there's also, well, later I can use it for the distance between the tip of the nose and the cheek. And then closer to the face and the cheek, and a little closer to the face and the cheek, and really bring out, or the edge of a window ledge compared to the house an inch away. But if you could really make the distance, that is to be had, and I must have that. And that's why I take pictures, because ultimately, of course, the accumulation of all this time looking at the area here will just be when I, go to actually sit and paint it about 6 months from now. Excuse me, little nose thing. I'll be from imagination, but to learn the distance and to make certain mechanics of art. And that's why I take the pictures and study the lines on my own. Not when I'm here. It's certainly easier to do in the summertime. Right now it's pretty darn cold. So it's the distance. That's the real treasure thing I'm going to take away from this, is that ability. And that will happen. I'm going to, do have other artworks going on in the meantime. This won't even start necessarily. Of course, it will be the first time I touch paint to canvas around our highlight. And then I won't touch it again for about another, 6 months while I study it some more. And during that time, I have some other works, and everything I acquire from that will be essentially, we're making our body of work, which was a new term. I started this like 4 months ago, a few weeks after, and I thought you could just kind of shortcut your way, and I'm like, gee, art, I can do art, I could take this seriously, and then I'll just paint some things and shortcut my way into it. And no, certainly not. The idea of the body of work, the importance that an artist actually has to learn how to do their art. You have the ability, but you really have to take the time to learn it, to acquire it, to find moments that you suddenly, these dramatic moments suddenly, and you're like, oh, I want to remember how I did this so I can apply it again. So the body of work couldn't be more important also to the buyer, to the someone who's going to be making an investment in the art. They want to know that the person who's making it is serious about it, that they're in it, that there's a future and possibility for an art piece bought to go up in price, which it should. The person who buys the art, they should be able to ultimately, if that's their choice, make hopefully a lot more than the artist made selling it. No doubt, I think. So that's my goal. That's why I'm jumping into it completely here with the videos also every day, so you can get to know who I am and where I'm at, where my head's at. Yesterday's video seemed a little bit almost on edge slightly, and I try to define that as just expressing my passion for the art, and never expressed it really much the way I did, except in my own mind, thinking about it. And of course, recording it yesterday, and I'm looking back at it, I'm like, gee, I'm a little bit, maybe I should redo the lines. Never to redo the lines. And record it again with a suit and tie, or, I'm transgender, so not a suit and tie, but to formalize redo the whole video in a nice candy-coated way, but that's not You know, I mean, art is, no doubt, the expression of that person, the artist. It's who they are. Couldn't be more present. And so the better you know me, the more, well, the better you know me. Hello, sun. This is just the beginning of winter. And I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when there is white on the ground and the snow and ice, who knows. But I gotta wonder if that's even going to change it anymore. Every time it changes a little bit, I'm surprised that it's changed at all. How does it change? How does it change? I keep doing my thing. I keep working it every day, and so I'm seeing more things. I certainly study a lot of videos. The first month of this was listening to 3 hours of lectures, which was easy to do, on the internet, about the different types of art, philosophy in art. Never even heard of that before. Conceptual art is like taking everything you know to be real and flushing it. And so I never consider conceptual art when I'm like sitting alone in the woods. I find that uncomfortable to try to engineer some kind of idea of conceptual art when everything about it is so almost the opposite of what you think everything is or know things to be. It's very unusual. And so I find it an uncomfortable place to be, just thinking about undoing everything that you know when you're alone. That's no good. So I try to find myself into a local coffee shop where there's plenty of people if I want to think about stuff like that deeply. But yeah, all the different types of art, I have no idea. It's quite a thing. And the more you learn, the more you realize how much more you have to learn. And that's what we're doing here. And we're learning. I'm happy to share what I learned and share the adventure, because this is the beginning.